Hey, so how's it going? I went over to a garage today. I didn't film it though, and bought a load of tools for 120 bucks. I figured I'd show you what we got. There was a few other things besides tools, but the tools in my head is where the money is. Even though they're the old vintage tools, they do sell fairly well online. I was actually fairly surprised. Remember all those hammers I got? I got 2 more hammers. But if you look up vintage hammers, they sell for probably like $6-7 on eBay with the handle cut off. So I guess they fit in a box. It's cheaper to send them. This axe head, old fire axe head, forged steel. I bet that's probably another $8 to $10 on eBay. But there was a ton of newer files, and files, they're a tough sell without a handle at the flea market. Probably get $3-4. But if you have some decent clean, especially like fine and odd shaped files, on completed listings on eBay, I saw that they actually did sell fairly well for vintage files. Bunch of chisels. I have no clue what this thing is. Maybe it's a knife sharpener? Don't know. Old screwdriver. But I got, it doesn't go all the way back, probably just to that box. There's probably 4 boxes of tools, a box of scrap, and some other stuff. Oh, this thing, it's a shame the one side's rusted, but it looks like some type of shearer. Definitely a nice little tool though. This is really nice. This is like a little chisel awl. It sounds like there's something inside the handle. I wonder if it's more parts like that. Yeah, it's a whole little chisel set. It's pretty fun. There's 3 chisels, a saw, a little drill, a screwdriver. It's probably from like 1900. This blade right here, though, is really nice for fine carving. Chalk. At the flea market, I always seem to sell $20-30 worth of tools, no matter what I bring. I think this is a riveter. But they think we're going to try to sell some online, just because it's definitely not everybody has a good flea market nearby, but there's always old vintage tools when you go to an estate sale or something. Whenever I look any of this stuff up, I always go by completed listings. So just because a lot of people will list stuff and it never sells. I forgot about these. I put these in this bucket. Really great pair of shears. Somebody online was making look like spiders or something in metalworking with like old shears. It looked really good. Another good set. This one's Weiss. I guess this has a name too. I can't quite make it out. Little stone chisel. Put that with the chisels. There was two vices in here. This is a Stanley. Honestly, the box itself it held 100 pounds of tools, or 70 pounds of tools. So the box itself is good, and it has a good look. So I think that's sellable pretty easily at the flea market. They had a lot of handmade tools at this place. I didn't take them all, but I like how they fixed the handle on the little hacksaw. Used looks like a lead pipe. Good wood file. So I think I'm gonna try to make a wood and metal file lot and a fine file lot for doing like better work, or finer work, or whatever you want to call it. It's amazing how much you'll use it when you're doing repairs or making this is another wood file. This is kind of cool. It has a little rethreading bit. Could be a rethreading tool. It makes sense, but different. First chisel. Hopefully we get a whole set of chisels. I did see a few, but handmade. I guess that's chisel slash file. Good piece of tin. Might be lead. Probably lead. I think I'm just going to turn this whole toolbox into a file holder. Nice early brush. Horsehair. Tin container with just rivets or grommets. I just always seem to need them. A box of razor blades. Actually, there must have been 3 little vices. I didn't even see this one. Ooh, little punch set. Didn't see that either. It's numbers. What's nice is they're so small. I think what good block of steel. It's actually good to have on your workbench if you ever need to bend anything. And these vintage antennas actually do sell. When they're not busted. So yeah, this one has the hole. You can just put it on replacement antenna. These are all different punches. I like how they used the Band-Aid tin. There isn't a set of these. It's got cherries and oranges and tomatoes. This looks like it was a handmade screwdriver. It's kind of fun. Machinists always make interesting things. This guy designed medical tools. I believe I have a sample of what he made. Great key ring, a big one. Alright, I think that's it from here. I'll pull the files out. Grab the next box. I don't know if the other piece to this is in there, but this is for an ice box. It's the latch. Grabbed all the little wooden boxes. This is complete. It's a nice little wooden chest set. I bought the replacement chess pieces yesterday. They actually do sell online, just a single piece, and I think this is probably 25-30 bucks online. I was actually surprised to see how much chess pieces went for. These were cool. These are all from 1943, and they're the language guides. Got Chinese phrases, French, Turkish, Russian. One of my uncles got shot down in Germany and he landed on the Russian side, and he was able to speak a little Russian. So instead of, like, they were interning all the American pilots back then, and since he was able to speak Russian, they brought him back over to the American line instead of holding him to the end of the war. Japanese, German, Netherlands, East Indies. That's pretty fun. Norwegian. I think the best ones of these language translators will probably be the ones that the people we fought, the Japanese and the German ones. But it'll be interesting looking them up. Oh yeah, this box. There was a bunch of solder, and what was nice is it's not plumbing solder. It's more for like radio solder. So the radio solders tend to be worth a lot more. I'll have to look this wire solder up. See, this is a plumbing. See how thick it is? You can see how thin this one is. So when you find solders, if you ever find the thin ones, they can be $100, $50. Good little film canister. And they put paraffin wax in there for probably waxing the tools and stuff. Another good little tack hammer. This is a perfect screwdriver. I actually learned that from reading the comments. It's amazing how much knowledge everybody has out there. Definitely have learned a lot by reading the comments, so thank you everybody who I don't know, helps with the knowledge. A good chisel. Does this one have a name? No, not that I see. Fun little awl. Always seem to use those in a workshop. Good file handle. This one must have got ran over. Good little lock for use that in the storage room. Soldering tip. This is a drill press vise. Little Stanley. That's probably 20 bucks online. Ruler. Good little plane. It's a Stanley number 118. All steel. No wood in it. Little miniature screwdrivers. These would be good for working with jewelry. Another solder. Some more tins. Oh yeah, this one was cool. See how all the little medical valves and the stainless steel little ball screws. I bet these would be really useful in crafting and stuff. I really like it's probably, you could probably make a few lots of these little ball screws, get 50 cents, $1 a piece, maybe more. Let's see, there's 2 more of those tins. Maybe these are as cool. No, little screws. Or no, nowhere near as neat as that other one. Some more solder. All and another roll of solder. Alright, go grab another one. Got another bucket here. Probably put a lot of the stuff into this bin. This is actually would be for holding medical equipment. Bunch of drill bits. These would actually they actually sell fairly well online also, especially when they're not all still sharp. The only thing I know about drill bits is it'll tell you on the side if it's high speed or not, high carbon. And if you put so this one says HS, so if you put all the HS bits together and you sell those in a lot, they'll tend to do a little bit better than if you just sold 150 drill bits by themselves. But I would hope a drill bit in a lot sells for, another box of them sells for 50 cents to $1. We'll see. If you guys ever, I don't know, ever wonder what they actually do go for, you can look them up. A little box of bolts. I kind of just like I heard that it had something in it. This is actually good and sellable. It's a medallion for a old antique saw. I don't know what they sell for anymore, but I remember listening to a few back in the day. I think it all depends on the brand. This here is pretty good. It's a brass hand-threaded bolt for tightening and untightening. A lot of times use them for blades. But, all right. Key fell out. Oh, it's all keys. Here's a good one. An old master lock key with a lion on it. They normally go for around $5 on eBay. Worn keys. I've sold them in lots before for people for crafts, especially if somebody's like well used. But doesn't look like any skeletons and no old car keys that I see, but I'm going to pull that set out so I can put that with all the other master lock keys I have. It's an odd key with the triangle. Pull that out too. I haven't actually, don't think I have one like that. in my little box of key treasures. All right. So this is actually pretty cool. All little hand files, or like tiny machinist files. Again, always really good for repair. This is a little Stanley chisel. A couple wood files. Another good early chisel. I think that's a chisel there too. There's a few compasses. There's two. This one's actually a nicer one. With make a fairly large circle with that, and a little seal. I have to press that and see what it says later. It's not seized. A little clock key. All right, grab another box. Another big thing of files. He made his own little square for, I guess his was too short for the angle he wanted to make. But this right here was actually pretty cool. I've never had one this large. It's pretty sure it's for bending sheet metal. It's probably 24 inches. So I actually might keep that. Put it with all the other tools I haven't really used yet. But I don't know. If you don't see something all the time, it's always tempted to save it. Yeah, that's one of the last boxes. The box back there is all wire mostly. I think this was all brass scrap. Brass and copper scrap. This is I believe these are the tools that he made. All like heart surgery stuff for putting in stents or whatever. But I don't know, definitely different. Kind of like the little suitcase it came in. Probably for medical equipment. Yeah, this was all the brass scrap that I grabbed from the house. What is this box? Yeah, they had a ton of playing cards. Some of these are drilled packs and some are just good bicycle. I'll show you this vise and then I think that's it. 2 packs of LED Christmas lights. Yeah, this was a winner. And this nice little Cleveland vise number 143. I unbolted it from the workbench, so I know it works. There was a bunch of other solders. And this was a copper wire, but down here there's some more solder. In all, for 120 bucks, this was a good little pick. And I am going to try to sell some of the files and Need to put up some of the hammers from that hammer lot online. Hopefully you thought this was fairly interesting. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, please give somebody a call who might be alone. Please be safe out there, and we'll see everybody next video. What was my favorite pick of it out of all this? Probably the translation books. I think they're pretty neat, especially since they're from World War II. All right, see everybody later. Thank you again for watching. Peace. All right, let's put all this away. Maybe the bender was my favorite. So many fun toys.